Well, good day, everyone. Welcome aboard Flying with Mike South American Operations today. We're going to be flying out of Cuiabá over to Bolivia. And we are doing this out of order, folks. We had a little change of plans this week that came up after the schedule was made and called an audible. We're going to do the South American flight today. Tomorrow, Thursday, God willing, we'll do the 747. So my apologies, folks, if you were expecting from the schedule to see a 747. Well, just think of it as one. It's just, it's just an Airbus. So we enjoy flying aircraft, folks. That's all it is. I mean, really, it's just another plane we're going to enjoy. We're going to enjoy South America, folks. We're going to be coming into the front range of the Andes Mountains. We're going to be at about 1200 MSL at SLVR. I'm trying to get the name of the airport for y'all because you know me and South America. Yeah, Viru International. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. In Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia. Again, front range to the Alps. After them is the Alps. So I have not been to this airport as well. So this ought to be fun, seeing what the scenery looks like. I do know not far away from this airport is the highest international airport in the world. And that sits, I'm trying to get the name in my mind. I can't get, oh, La Paz. I think it's Bolivia. But they sit 13,000 MSL, folks. And it's a hard airport to find. We had a super hard time in the 747 finding it. So who knows? Maybe we'll fly the bus. Maybe we'll fly a 747. But I do plan to revisit that airport. That is by far a fun airport to go to, knowing that you're 13,000 MSL and people live at that altitude, folks. That's up there. You're talking almost 2 miles. So, but anyway, we're in gate 7 here. Call letters SB, Sierra Bravo, CY, Charlie Yankee. And let's get up there and let's get flying with Mike, shall we? As you can tell, I have not done much with the plane other than position it, put the jetway up to it, and that's as far as we've gone. No chocks, no power, no nothing yet. All right, and it looks like my airplane is trying to misbehave. There we go. Having a little bit of attitude already towards me. All right, so real quick, it's a tough route to enter in, but let's show it to you anyway. Whew, that's going to be tough to put in the McDo here, but no worries, folks. Minute, 2 minutes most. All right, so let's get the plane powered up here first. So per the checklist, we're going to come down. Okay, we basically go bottom up to the upper panel, and we're going to make sure the parking brake is set. Spoilers down, flaps up. Engine start selector is in normal. Start switches off. Radar's off. PWS doesn't work in this, so we don't have to worry about it. Let's give that throttle a move. That's good. Progressing up. Landing gear levers down. No way to tell up here. No way to see 3 green because we have 0 voltage or amps going through the plane yet. Then up top here, want to make sure the wipers are off. All right, so now we're ready to put some power to the plane. So looking here, we got to be above 25, and we are on both batteries, so we'll click BAT 1. Now we can see the off light. BAT 2. All right, and let's come over here and put the chocks in, select ground power. And we'll come back up here and we should be able to select, there it is, external power. Christmas tree beginning to light up, which is actually in an Airbus a bad thing. Most things are dark. You've got off and then you have somewhat off. So yeah, it takes a little getting used to, folks, but overall it's a piece of cake. All right, while we're here, I am going to go ahead to announce to the rampies we're on. Let's go to Nav 2, put those in auto. Emergency lights to on. Check our lighting. Things are still powering up. We're empty? I'll be doggone. We are. No, we don't. We have 10,000 pounds of fuel on. That's probably because I don't have fuel pumps on yet. Okay. Alright, so we got it basically set up. So let's head over to that pesky board and get stuff going here. Now, let me go up here and check some things. Oh wow, we're getting an error. See what happens when we turn them on. Well, heck, I don't know how to fix that fault. That is great. And of course, you don't ever get any documentation anymore to tell you how to. Other than call maintenance, which is what I'm going to do. See if that fixed it. Okay, that did not. I do not know what's causing this. And I don't have that turned on to start with, so why is it giving me faults? Well, let's see what happens here as we go through. Could be an interesting flight, folks. Alright, so here we are on the EFB. And, oh, I always like to, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong view here. There we go. Because we're going to be bringing Sim Toolkit in so you can see that. Okay, there's Sim Toolkit. Let's get the load out. We got 142 people daring to fly with us today. 11,928 kilograms of payload. 54,000, almost 55 on the zero fuel weight. And we're going to be putting on 6,885 kilograms of fuel. Now, our cruise today will be a CI of 37 at 36,000 feet. So we'll see how this works out, because this is really not that long of a flight. comes in at about an hour and 15-minute fly time. So, you know, folks, it's really not super long. 492 on the air miles. Our winds are going to be in our face, so we're going to have to deal with that with 43 knots at us. And there's our fuel breakdown. So let's move in and put that in the FM or the FMC. How about the EFB? I'll hit the right button yet, folks. Don't worry. Brighten this up a little. Okay, so fuel-wise, 60. We got to call the truck first. Okay, now I can put in, what is it, 68.85. Set. Passenger. Well, we're on a gate, so we'll call it. Total 142. Set. Finally, our cargo. 0. We're going to still go ahead and call them. So the, you know, they are putting the baggage on. There's actually going to be about 300 pounds. Well, there's going to be the baggage for the people. That's figured in, by the way, with the total numbers. So if you put 10 people on, it sets it at 200, or I think it's 210, 10 pounds a person. I think it's 200 for the person, 10 for the bags. Yeah, I know. Not many people travel with 10 pounds of luggage. A male, possibly female, I doubt it. There'll be at least 100 pounds because there's at least a kitchen sink in one of the bags. And yes, I'm about to get hit by the CEO. So, we got all of those set. Oh no, we don't. We don't want that. 0 set. Alright, so fuel, 68 passengers, 142 cargo. Alright, let's see what the data comes up. 54770, that is correct. And with the fuel, we are slightly heavier here, so that's fine. Good thing is CG's good. Let's click set. And while we're here, I want to get a couple things put in here. 0 fuel weight is, and you'll see where this comes in handy to have. 28.6. I just have it on a little piece of paper next to me. 27.3. Okay, and trim looked like it was up 0.3. So, and you'll see how that gets entered and set. It's really easy in this plane. 0.3. Alright, and we'll set one more time. Oh, I think our fault cleared, folks. Yes! Maybe we had an imbalance I didn't know about. But I'm glad. I didn't want to focus too heavily on it. Alright, so where we left off at. Okay, so we've got the fuel loaded, the passengers, cargo loaded. We can actually start getting rid of the equipment. I'm going to go ahead, for now, let's get rid of the baggage loaders. Even though one of them would usually stay attached to the plane till all the boarding is completed and any strollers, wheelchairs, people who bring their luggage hoping to get it put underneath the plane instead of like they're supposed to, give it to the agent. It happens, I know. So, alright, so we'll get that, and we'll pull the fuel truck. Okay. See if that helps us out. Alright, only thing left is the gate. We still got the gate and the door open. Why it doesn't show up here that well, I don't know. Alright, so let's move on. Up to the top, we're going to kick the APU on. Okay, good tone, good light. Got the master warns. And APU fire right there. So that's a good test, folks. Alright, so next up is the APU Master Switch. We got that coming on. Let's go back down. We'll wait for the flap to open. Once it does, we'll click Start, and then we just wait for it to fire up. So I hope y'all have had a great start to your week. Monday was a good stream, playing with the Carinado, or not Carinado, my bad. Oh, I did not mean to insult Thronda that way. With the Thronda Caravan, yes, we have problems with it, but, you know, overall the flights were good, folks. So, and that's all that when it boils down to is what it needs to be. Okay, on the APU screen there, you see flap open. And then we click Start. Takes a couple seconds. What we're going to be looking for, right here where it says APU Gen, let's be looking for 110 to 116 on the voltage, the V, and that's, you know, and then make sure we have some hertz. Almost there, folks. Right, it's building up right now. Okay, 115's within the range, and 400's good, available. Hey, that's all we're looking for here, folks. Once available, now we're on the internal power. So we'll come up here. We can actually come off the external and then turn on APU Bleed. So now the air is coming in via the APU. Alright, we'll start warming things up. Next up, we start our general pre-flight, which basically we go up the panel here, folks, instead of down it like Boeing does. And you'll notice this is considered one panel. So what I'll do, we'll just kind of go up.
Yes, Captain. We are waiting for your instruction.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, turn that off. Put this on ground. Do our test. Good deal. Got our faults. We can't clear these until the engines, or till it's aligned. My bad. Just working our way up. Boom, boom, boom. There they go into a line. We're looking for on battery. Boom. Good to go. Sure it goes off. Basically just saying our navigation alignment and navigation system will be available for us to use if we lose APU generator and our engine generators. It's working off the battery. Back down to the bottom row of lights off, middle row or top row, we're going to be on auto for the strobe so that when we take off and the struts extend, the strobe lights will come on, should we forget. Beacon, all of those are off. Nav 2. 2 sets of lights on the wingtips, folks. 1 set of lights, 2 set of lights. So when you do your check, if one of those lights on one of the sets is out, switch to the other Nav 2 or Nav 1. Comes on. Boom, we're out of here. If it doesn't, maintenance is coming in. Gotta have those, unfortunately, folks. Okay, the seatbelts we've already taken care of. Smoking sign already taken care of. Emergency lights. Landing is in the auto position. Everything's looking good with the APU. I turned the temperature down a couple notches since we have the sun always right beating in on us. Makes it a little warmer than the rest of the plane through that window. And then the back half there, I kicked up the heat a little. to help people. We're on it's available. Generators are off and turning the fuel pumps on. All right, next up, the actual engine fire checks. Okay, both discharges lit up, that light's on. 1, 2 red lights there, engine fire showing on the ECAM. Oh, I clicked it, I forgot about that. Got one more check to do anyway, so hang on. So you got engine fire there. Now, down below the respective engine switch is fire as well. Got a lot of places if you get a fire warning. All right, let's try number 2. Okay, both discharges, that light's on. They're on. Engine fire and fire. Okay. Down the other side, coming up. Go ahead and click those on. And the radio's on. Okay, now we'll go to the middle again. 3 green, good. Anti-skid nose wheel steering switch is on. And then traversing down, FMCs are both on. Actually, they're called McDo's. And then we'll set our radio up. 122.800. That is the VATSIM Unicom when you're not on channel with an ATC controller. Then I like to set, this is a POSCON. If you ever used POSCON, folks, this is actually like a Unicom channel there. It's where we can monitor in case ATC would pop up. I've only been with ATC once in all the times that I used POSCON last year, so I don't use it anymore. Unless VATSIM just really thoroughly is getting raunchy again, I probably will not be over there for a while. Alright, 122.95. That is actually another real world Unicom channel. And then we'll put 121 for 500. The Universal Mayday channel. Okay. Now, big thing with XPilot, I don't know if it extends to the other clients like POSCON and the rest, but with XPilot, you have to turn on the microphone. I haven't tried to see if the volume switch works here yet. We'll find a controller one day that's going to make me have to do it. Then we'll come down to TCAS, clear twice. Oh, dang it, there we go. Okay, let's bring it in here real quick because I think I have a couple newbies. Let's see, XPilot, where are you? There you are. Okay, you notice how mode C is not lit up? Alright, let me kind of zoom in to kind of show this off. Okay, you're going to get some controllers on VATSIM that get pretty irate if you're not squawking mode C on their airport. And looking at this transponder, as we've all known with most of the transponders, all we have to do is do this or this, and it takes us into mode C. Not the case. Did you ever see it light up over there, folks? It took a couple of flights after an irate controller just could not live with himself with me not being on mode C. So I went to this switch. What the heck? Checked it out. Okay, well, there's standby. Okay, to me, if it's in auto, it should work. No. Got to go to on. Here's where it'll light up mode C, and you'll put that kind of a controller in their happy place. So just to let you know that, folks, so you don't run into that, because I almost waged a couple of formal complaints to VATSIM over that flight. That was just way overboard on his part. He's not the only one. There are several of them out there that are that. Oh my gosh. But anyway, that's the switch. Doesn't matter what you do here, only that it'll affect what you see on your nav display. But it's that standby auto to on that'll kick it into mode C. Alright, so at that point, folks, we are ready to load up the McDo. Enough said about that. Let me pull that away real quick. Alright, so what we're gonna do is bring up this. Real quick, if you ever want to get back here, just a little tip, click your data page. I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong one. Aircraft status, boom, you're back at it. We, on the other hand, are going to click init, type in departure, SBCY slash, and I like to call it sliver, SLVR. Put that in here. No, we don't have a flight plan. Put that over here. Let's put in, what the heck, Mac. This is how you'll find me online here. Cost index, I think we said 31, or was it 37? 37, glad I looked. Cruise flight level 360. Okay. Go ahead, since it's screaming at me for it. Align, confirm, boom. Now, you see how it says GPS primary loss? That'll go away when it aligns. And it'll tell you to GPS primary, I think. Let's get our wins. Request. Good. Next phase, request. Good. Return. Now, we're going to click the error over. Now, it's going to want the weights. So bear with me. I'm going to try and set this up so we can get a good look here. Okay. Pretty good. Not the greatest, but you know what? It'll work. There we go. Alright, so what we'll do is, you see where it says weight request here, click. And make sure you all see this. Okay, make sure I didn't leave something up. There's GPS primary, by the way. Just click clear. We'll come back, get the other one. Click weight request now. Okay. I can already tell it didn't load it right. My zero fuel weight is way off. So what I'm going to do, put up here, we're going to click that set button again. And now we're set right. 54.7 round up, 54.8 is right. Zero fuel weight, 28.6. Block fuel out of here. Of course, we're rounding up, 6.9. Okay, so now our weights are entered properly. Been a pain in the rump here lately. That's why I wanted to do it that way. Okay, so from here, they like us to go to the perf page. You can either go perf or F plan, whichever you're comfortable with. I'm using this checklist that wants me on the perf page next. So hang on, I am getting another website. We're going to give it a shot, see if it'll work. I got a... Uh-oh. Oh, I thought for a second there, what's going on? Okay. Alright, our gross weight. Here, let me pull this up so you can see it. Takes a second here, folks. I want to make sure the right browser page comes up. Okay, it did. Outstanding. Okay, so browser. Alright, now I've been using this page, and when I put the data in here, put it over here, I end up always getting check your data. And I'm not going to guarantee and swear on a Bible this is accurate over here on the performance calculator. Okay, not going to do it. All I am going to say is there used to be a great tool out there that every time I put it in, bam, it was right on. Pretty daggone, you know, a couple of guys told me it's pretty close to the real world. So this one, just, I always get it. Alright, so I got my weights in. Let's go to perf. And now we're going to load up this page. Alright, so first thing it's wanting is gross weight. And by the way, folks, I have tried 61.4 as well as typing it out. CG. Since it doesn't have anything in front of it, I'm going to put 27.3. And I think I have tried it both ways. We're going to go 1F. Anti-ice will be off. No, wait, it'll be engine. Air conditioning will be on. Airport ICAO is SBCY. Oh, this looks maybe a little different. Hang on, maybe I will get better here. Okay. Runway length meters 2300. Oh, I think it's filled in lots of it. Cool. It sure did. Wow, I like some of this new stuff. Maybe it'll be better. Alright, heading 171, that's good. Dry runway, we're 617, yep. Okay, now let me check weather. 140 for the winds, I saw that. 1019, that all looks good. Alright, well that made it a lot easier, folks. So let's calculate. Now, what I do like, if it works good, and it's pretty close to what Professional Flight Planner came out with, that screen right there will match your screen. Sort of, kind of, maybe. I'll show you here in a second, because it doesn't give transition level, and I'm going to get that real quick. Transition here, 4,000, so it is correct on mine, but as you look at this screen, it's wrong. And I'm talking right here. I've also, you know what, I'm going to leave it default just to see what happens. Okay, so they're calling 132. 132. 138. Now I know these are a little off lower than what Professional Flight Planner came out with. Alright, flaps. 1 slash, we're going UP03. Now that matched what we had on the FMC. Up 0.3. See, check takeoff data. Okay, well, what we're going to do, let's give it a shot. 1417. 1417 slash 1417. Let's do it. Oh, I didn't get the slash. How did I miss that? 1417. Same over here. Now there is another good site if you're over in Europe. Black Box has a great site that'll help you with that information. The thrust reductions, the engine out and all. So I highly recommend if you're over in Europe. South America and the US, very few. Takeoff data still not good. And I'm going to try one more thing. Okay. Yeah, I came up with exactly the same numbers. We'll have about 500 feet of runway left if they match up right. Let's see what happens if I go here. Yeah, I need to learn how to use this. Oh well, we won't even try it. I was going to send it out on Top Cat's ACARS and see what I got, but I'm not getting a send notification, so... Yeah, I'm not finding it, so I'm going to just not work auto pops. Let's see what is that. Nope, nothing. Alright, so we'll just close. So we're still having problems here. That's fine, folks. We're going to go with the data and, you know, it'll be what it'll be. So we've got that all done. So we'll pull away the browser here. And the last thing we got to do after our flex temp you just try it. What the heck? Alright, I was just trying it. Okay, so let's go to F-plan. We've wasted enough time here. And let's get the flight plan in here, okay? Now, flight plan-wise, if you remember, here comes Sim Toolkit. I say that cautiously, always having trouble. There it is. Alright. So our flight plan is across the top. In the chat is also the flight plan. Alright, so let's just go here. Departure 17. Okay, so you saw that. EDPU 1B. Then we selected our transition, Vanna, right here. We're going to insert. And there they are. We'll pull up the chart here in a minute and show it to you. Okay, so from Vanna, we have to type login. Viru. Insert. Go to arrival. There are none. Ain't that special. Okay, so we'll come up here. Oh, that's what we want. That one. Okay. We're coming to runway 16. Gotta love it, folks. I know some people that would not like this airport today. We're going to be doing the RNAV. Alright, so we'll do the RNAV. There's got to be some trans. Wow, no, okay, well, we're coming into Ecoma, and I'll show that here. Real quick here, let's pull some toolkit out, bring in charts, give you a little look ahead here. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is planned for here, but 6 miles. I may plan to go to Robil, and as we're turning, we'll come in. So, put Robil, R-O-B-I-L, and it did not show up. That's what's weird. And we'll clear. Alright. Insert. F-plane. Alright, so let's check it out here real quick. Double checking for any discontinuities or weirdness with the mileages. Mileages are right here, the 1226. Okay. Keeping it set at 20, folks, we can just use the up arrow. Okay, let's look at that departure. Okay, so we come out, let's click F-plane again. So we're going to come off 17 to Culru. And then we're going to go to EDPUK at or above 7,000. So it looks like we've got that put in. Then we're going to go off on 285 to Vanya. Okay, so let's step it out. Okay, login looks good. Bill. Okay, we're going to switch now to the RNAV. There's Bill. And we'll have to make sure we're at or above 44, and we are. 5,000 is what they call ECMO 44, so we're good. And there's the rest of it looking good. Let's take this back out into ARC. Alright. Sorry if that's pretty dry sounding stuff, folks. It's pretty hard to, you know, throw some drama at that. Oh my, we're gonna be on the runway 17 to Culru. Over to EDPUK. Wait, that sounds more like a movie. Anyway, I just want to say welcome aboard, folks. I hope y'all have a great time. Enjoy the stream. I'm just going to do a quick check here of chat area, mainly to make sure I haven't missed anything. Let's see here. Where is it? Hey, everything looks good. Hang on 1 second, folks. I see a problem that I missed in pre-flight, not aircraft-wise, stream-wise. Get this changed out real quick. Alright, and I do apologize, folks. I just happened to catch it looking up through the chat. And I'm glad I did, because there we go. Alright. That is now better. Alright. So let's, well, we just got a few more steps to do here, like right here in the middle. Get the flight control unit, that's what they call this setup. Get rid of this. 1019 we know, so we'll nice thing, it sets this side. Flight directors off, LS, or flight directors on, LS is off. Let's get our VORs set. Nav select is in ARC, range 20, constraints or data, Boeing guys, the same word, set there, our numbers and our altitude. And I know you can probably still see this. Is there a climb? It does not appear to be any initial climb. Okay. Kind of fill the page with it as best we can. What we're going to do is face south, taxi out to A, back taxi the runway, and take off, and then follow the departure procedure. Okay, so we're going to 36. Up. Okay, dots around, so we're good to go. Folks, it's time to button the plane up, and let's go fly with Mike. Okay, and I just want to do a quick look around the plane. The only thing I should see are chocks attached and the jetway. Okay, looks good. Let's call better pushback, shall we? This, folks, is a free
Rondon to
utility.
cockpit, please show me where you wanted to go, sir.
Love the pushback voice here.
Rondon to cockpit, tow is dialing up.
Okay. While we wait on the tow, let's get the final parts of this done. We're all set there. Beacons will come on as soon as we see him in sight under the plane. And he'll drive through anything that's in his way. That's what's so cool about him. Okay, let's get those chocks off. Even though he'll kick them off.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Clear to connect. Hang on, I see something that looks a little weird. Huh. Right here, folks, is what I was looking at. A little weird looking. Okay, just waiting on him. Let's go ahead and pull the jetway.
Tow is now connected and the bypass pin is secured. Please release parking brake.
1 second. Is it? Oh, I hate when it does that. Make sure it's away. All right, folks, here we go. Brakes off.
Starting pushback now and you may start your engine.
Beacons are on. I will keep the wing lights off to the runway. Alright, now he mentioned we can start. Once we get out here, I gotta stop. We'll hold the engines for now. So let's enjoy the pushback. Looks like some pretty flat country in this part of Brazil. I guess western portions.
Operation completed. Please set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Please stand by.
Okay, I need to start my Acres program real quick here. Didn't do that last flight, folks, with South America, so I want to get credit for this one. Okay, move the start switch over. Starting number 2.
Tow is now disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on your right, Captain. See you next time. Have a safe flight.
Thanks for flying with Mike. Really hate that I sometimes just want to click, click, and go, and it doesn't let me click, click, and go. Okay, there's the pin. Folks, is pretty much an automatic startup. There isn't like the other ones where you gotta wait for 20, put the fuel in, tug at your ear, touch your nose, and then you can, you know, get the next engine started. Now, when it says available, technically you can get over to the other engine and get it going. I kind of like to make sure everything is stabilized. Then come down here and start up the other engine. Okay, you're cranking. Now, if for some reason, you know, you get caught in conversation or whatever, you can always tell if your engine is available or not. If this is still gray, it's still cranking up, or you'll see avail up here. But if it looks like this, it's already done, folks, and available. Engine available. All right. Just making sure. There we go. All right, let's move the start switch back. And then come up top here, turn the APU bleed off. APU off. Make sure our packs are on, and they are. And then do a quick run through here to get our make sure everything's set and ready to go. How about radar on? I'll be honest, I really don't know if it works or not in this one. Go to TARA. Okay, go up here in the middle. Brake fan on. Reject takeoff is max in this plane. Flaps set for 1. Spoilers arm. All you do is pull it up. Do a takeoff config check here in a moment. Flaps are set. Everything's set, cabin ready. Here we go, folks. Doing a control surface check. And believe it or not, folks, this one check here would have saved a few crews and quite a few passengers. Mainly the corporate world, where people get in a hurry because the passengers are in a hurry and they forget the most important things. It happens. So, all right, so like I said, folks, we're going to from our vantage point here, we're going to come out to taxiway Alpha, up to the runway, taxi north, turn around, and take off. So, here we go. Okay. Check works. west. Sierra Bravo Charlie Yankee traffic, Mac Air 572 back taxiing, runway 17 for departure. And of course now is a good time for all your lights on. Just gonna motor our way up this way. And again, 7,500 feet. So folks, I'm going to use every inch of the runway I can take. If I could start from just off the grass, I would. Alright, so here we go, folks. We're about to turn and go. Okay, we're ready, as lined up as I'll take right now. Folks, 7,546 feet of runway. Let's see if we have 500 feet at the end. Alright, takeoff checks complete. Landing lights transponder. Let's just make sure I moved it all the way over. I usually do when I taxi. Okay, on F. Those lights, everything's on. Here we go. Let's go fly with Mike, folks. 50%. Lights on. Brakes off. Thanks.
VJ.
Gear up.
into the clouds we went. Well, let's get down here, disarm the speed brakes. One day I'm going to use this checklist. Turn off those lights will stay on. Radios, contact, we're airborne, standard at 4,000. Which, by the way, we're coming up to. Okay, there's 4,000. After takeoff checklist complete, brake fan off. That's right, we got that intermediate. Was it 7,000 and above or 7,000? Switching. Oh, 7,000 below. I misread the chart. Okay. So we hold at 7,000 for 7 miles. That's fine. Give us some screenshots. Just about there, folks. That turn should be coming. There it is. Okay, let's make sure we start our climb again. There we go, climbing up. Powering up. Okay, coming up on 10,000. Hi folks, again I'd like to thank you for coming in and flying with us today. Folks, if you are out there flying a flight on a VATSIM or just,
10,000
you know, flying to be flying, I would love for you to let me know where you're flying. One, gives me an idea for where we could do another flight. I want to start flying again back in Europe. So yeah, let me know. And hang on a second here, I can't read those. It gives me some ideas, like I said, of where I could, you know, where we could fly to next. So I'm not going to have these set. so saying so, yeah, would love for you to let me know in the chat that you're flying. One, it just lets me know, hey, we're helping to inspire people. That's one of my goals here, is to help inspire you to get in the air. I may be all, dry and boring, going through the checklist, but, what I'm trying to do is show you how to operate the plane, and two, so that you can go out and fly. Feel comfortable with the plane. And then, who knows, maybe you'll go the next step and jump online, be it with POSCON, VATSIM. I don't recommend Pilot's Edge. One, you got to pay for it. Two, you ought to know how to talk to them before you go there. Because one, you paid for it, and they're going to be mad at you. And you're out to have fun, folks. That's goal number one on the flight sim. Have fun. And when you have controllers that are irate, forget it. The fun goes out the window. / pilot irate. That happens too. Let me not just be knocking the controllers. That happens with the pilots too. And we're just putting a little stuff here as we cross our... slide that out, and then we'll get our arrivals out. Again, remember, we're doing an RNAV arrival.
18,000 feet.
So, we're getting up to altitude quick to come right back down. But yeah, the goal here, folks, have fun. And that's why I ask, see if anyone out there's, giving the sims out. Let's go, give them a try, even if it's just the 172, folks. We got 300 hours, real world, flying Cessna 172, Piper Tomahawks, Warrior, Archer, Arrow, Saratoga. Folks, I've flown a lot of the little aircraft. There's nothing wrong with them, folks. They're really good to learn the basics and then stair-step up to the Zebo to say that, it's a free aircraft, folks. It's a good, easy plane to learn. And then you can get into some of the pay work. Or if you like the GA, there's a lot of great day-wear GA aircraft out there. Rondon Cessna 208 is one of them. A couple of little quirks I didn't like, and I'm going to be reaching out to Rondon to find out why. Because one of them, kind of appalls me that they released it doing that. And if they say it's my system, it's what it is. So, but there you go, folks. You got those, you got the Coronados, you got all of those aircraft to pick from. So, let us know if you're flying, and if not, hey, I'm going to be having a training day here soon. Just trying to pick what airport and what day, and we can come online, come offline, and walk you through. Also, I do have a Discord channel. Feel free to come aboard, folks. A lot of people can help you there. Here's an invite to it. I'm going to be right now, I'm going to go ahead and hop in voice as I find it. It's my Discord channel. Thought I had that sucker up. Oh, I didn't. Wow. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and hop in. I need to set myself up a specific way to make it easier on you all on the stream. But yeah, would love to chat with you as we're flying along here. It's set up better. Oh, that's right, I had to shut that down. That's right. Okay, I'm trying to figure out why things aren't lined up like I normally see them down there. So when I go for them, they're where I want them. Alright, so we're through 23,000. get on back outside the plane. Yeah, thanks. You know, hey, Orb, how are you? Welcome aboard. Hope you're having a great, where are we at? Wednesday this week. Hump day. Oh, and May the 4th be with you. For those of you who may not be familiar with that, I figured the movie Star Wars and all of the Star Wars episode movies have gone international. If not, there's a movie that came out in 1976 called Star Wars. And it came out in the U.S. at a time when the economy was just the pits. Not kind of like it's going right now. Staying away from politics. Can't hear over the engines. Shame on those engines. They were kind of loud in my ears. I'm glad somebody spoke up. I did something when I came off last time and I wasn't sure if I had my headset set right. But anyway, Star Wars came out in 1976 when the economy in the US and probably worldwide was tanking. And pun intended here, gas prices were through the roof and gas lines to fill the tank were through the roof. Here in the States at least. And this movie comes out. And it was titled Episode 4. The way they made the movie, it's really weird. You go in and look at the history. I'm not going to even try to begin to make sense of it. It's hard to make sense. But it was Episode 4 of this trilogy the creator came up with called New Hope. Which in 1976, a lot of people were looking for new hope with what was going on in the economy. Perfect timing on that movie. Perfect movie for that time. This late 70s in the US, really bad. So, great movie that came out. And then went on to make 9 episodes that have been on. You know, he's gone through all of that he wanted to put out. And it's a good franchise. I'm more of a Star Trek person than a Star Wars person. Actually, it did say Episode 4. At least the one I saw in 1976. I was in a theater in a long line to see it. It scrolled out Episode 4. So, and there was a lot of talk here in the States about why it was that, and then he explained it's a trilogy. We're going to do 4, 5, 6, then go back and do 1, 2, 3, and then end it with 7, 8, and 9, and yeah, talk about confusion. That part of it's very confusing. Good story, though. I mean, really a good story. It was obviously extremely well received. Many equated it to the Wizard of Oz back in the 30s when it came out. Many political nuances were in it. You just have to watch. I took a theater appreciation class. Oh, whew. I'm like, oh no, am I getting ready to crash the desktop? It hit the pause point I forgot to get rid of. But anyway, a lot of interesting between that Star Trek and the Wizard of Oz. If you look at it politically, it's amazing to dissect it that way. And that's what this guy did in the class. And he caught me off guard is when he said, what genre is it? And I'm like, sci-fi. Pretty simple. You go, dig deeper. It's a Western. And I'm sitting there going, there is no way that's a Western. But if you look at the criterions that went into what took a movie into being a Western, aside from being out West in the U.S., it did meet the criteria. It was amazing. The villain was in black, the good guy was in white. They went off in the middle of the... I mean, it was just like, wow. It was a great class. One of those that I was so glad I took. A couple of other neat things we did in movies, with other movies, that were pretty cool too. But what he did with Star Wars, when he told me it was a Western, I about threw the proverbial lettuce and tomatoes at him. So, it was good though, folks. But yeah, Star Wars today, folks. May the 4th be with you. Alright, so we're through 31,000. I'm not very sure on how far. A top of climb's 28 miles out. Airport we're going to 345 miles out. So enough of the Star Wars. I'm not actually a real big fan of it. I just loved episode, the first one that came out in the theaters, which really will blow your mind away when you start trying to dissect which one it is. The very first movie and the third one. The little teddy bears, I'm sorry. Gotta love them, fighting. Gotta love them. And that's the only spoiler alert I'll give you. They're little teddy bears that fight the stormtroopers. The Ewoks. I know, they're Ewoks. Oh, but I love calling them teddy bears because that's what they look like, folks. So, all right, so you can see where we are on the map coming up to Tivu, I think's what it's called. No, login we're coming up to. Okay. And I can see top of climb ahead of us on the nav display. So let's look at that Nav approach, shall we? Because we only got about 300 miles to go here. We're almost ready to start coming down. So, all right, so we're going into Viru International in Bolivia. Here's the frequency line. Now, here's the line where you would get your localizer, your front-end course, which is final approach, and so forth. Well, it's an RNAV, so there are no frequencies. It's all done inside the avionics of the aircraft. Final approach course, though, will be 158. Pulik, here on the map, just so you get a reference to the runway and where it's at. About midway, we need to be at 2,900 feet. Okay, the LNAV decision altitude is 1,500 feet. Airport itself is 1,220 feet above sea level. Like I said, I equate this to kind of like Denver, except obviously not a mile high. It's at the front of the Rockies, Denver is. Well, this is at the front to the Andes Mountains. Okay, the missed approach procedures are there for you to read. We're in HEPA, so any meteorological information comes out that way. 5,000 foot transition level. Okay, we're going to go to Robil, ECMO, and ECMA, sorry, Pollock, and then to the runway. Hopefully, pretty straightforward. Weather's looking fairly decent, so hopefully it all plays out. 5 miles from the threshold, we should be at 2,900 feet. This just gives you some ballparks of where we should be. Again, visually, same thing. And let me quickly pull that up. Right now, I think we're going to be doing about 135 to 140 on our descent approach. So we're going to be looking at about 700 to 740 on our glide slope to make it. And roughly, let's call it 2 minutes. because we're a little higher. You know, we got to kind of guesstimate it when it's in between, you know, in these lines here. Pappies should be on the left-hand side. We got ALSIF 1 arrival approach lights. Again, it's number 1. VNAV, DA in lieu of MDA depend. Okay, so 1,500 foot MSL. That's going to give us about 280 feet above the ground, and visually 800 meters. All right, so that's the approach, folks. That's off in the distance for us. Right now, we're crossing login and then leveling off here soon. Oh, we just did. So let's get those seatbelt signs off. Okay, I think we're... Oh, excuse me, folks. We're cruising right now. 200 miles to the top of descent. So we've got our descent done. Our runway there is 11,000 feet. If I can fly this approach right, I'm hoping to get off at Echo. And then we'll just taxi back to the ramp. I'm planning spot 5. But Echo to Golf into the ramp. Again, the 157 for runway 16, and it's 1220 at that end of the runway for the altitude. And this is the biggest airport. Wait a minute, biggest airport? Bolivia? Then La Paz must be a different country. I'll have to find out. But anyway, that's the highest La Paz international airport out there. By that, that means commercial, customs, airport. There are airports out there higher than it, but not for commercial use with the airliners and all. 13,000 MSL. So only reason that can stick in my head like that, folks, the runway is the same length. So let's kind of sit back, relax here for the next 10 or so minutes. Let's let some music. Oh, let me head over there. Pictures, pictures, pictures. Oh, well, I would have swore I saw it in it, but, you know, they could edit it out. Interesting. What? Lease? It was 1976, folks. I was living in Charleston, South Carolina. 1981, I was close to graduating high school. Re-release. Huh. Oh, 77. Okay, I'm still living in Charleston then. I thought by 81 we were to the Ewoks at that point, or at least Empire Strikes Back. Huh, interesting. Still a pretty good movie, folks. I know this much after once that released. Uh-oh. Very cool. Building a 737 MCP. Nice. Yeah. I hope Hawker doesn't see that. Nice. Yeah, no, that's the hard part. You get something like that where you got to build it, get all the pieces going, and then one part blows, and it's the most important part. Wow. That's cool, though. Let's go ahead and get some range out and back in the sky. And let's put Volanta up here. Mostly 3D printed. Still not pretty close to where I need my descent to be, but close enough. That is awesome. Yeah, Hawker 125, if you aren't familiar, Orb, has got himself a Hawker fuselage in his garage that he hopes to turn into a flight simulator. Lot to do on it, I'll say that much. A lot of wires to pull, new to put in, well, or use, whatever. However, he decides to do that, and I get to be the laborer to go for to get me this, get me that, pull that, pull this. We'll leave it there. Don't take that anywhere else, folks. So yeah, he'll be trying to get all of that working inside the crampedness of the cockpit, where Hawker did it outside in the assembly room and then moved it inside. Or then, yeah, would have moved it inside and then built the plane from there. Oh, the weather is changing nicely for us. Don't have to worry about will I see the runway in time or not. Oh, excuse me, folks. Breakfast is trying to bite itself back. Let's take a look at what's out ahead of us. The Brazilian jungles. I'd like to welcome everybody in. Hope you enjoy the stream. We've got about another 10 or 15 minutes before we start setting the cockpit up here for descent into Viru International here over in Bolivia. Looks to be a pretty good weather-wise landing. Physical landing, we haven't figured that part out yet. No. But we started the stream off when we booted the plane up and started powering up, and we ended up with a fault. We just pop in here. Our fuel had a problem. I think it was imbalanced. I didn't really pay too much to how the tanks were, but we refueled and it seemed to go away. So hopefully we'll come in decently. I wish I could remember what it said, but it's right as we powered up. So I know a couple of real Airbus pilots stream up there. If you happen to be on channel, I'd love to know your experiences. I know a couple days ago, week ago, we had a A320 with a pack. Well, not really sure what the problem was, but they shut a pack down here and all the checks they have to do when they do that, and then the pilots, I guess, have to do something else. So pretty interesting stuff to see, understand what they're talking about part-wise, not knowing how you get around that fault, which obviously would be an MEL. So I just worry when they go, hey, got an emergency, out we go with the trucks. So alright, so I am going to hold up the music right here. I want to get back in, get a feel. 128. Okay, so let's go one more. Yeah, it's kind of neat how real life I'm starting to understand a little. Nothing like you guys, obviously, that fly these day in and day out. But pieces of it make sense now. And I kind of know what to expect on some of it. Now, granted, I've only had one emergency in 2 years out there at the airport with them. So that's me personally. Not to say they've had a couple out there. So it's just interesting what I'm learning with this plane. Not to say I can take your seat, guys. Sorry. I mean, I could. I just don't think the passengers would like it. I really don't think they'd like my landing. And I don't think they'd like how I fly it. So, but anyway, it's fun, folks. It's a fun plane, the Airbus. I actually enjoy it. I know some people despise them. I actually, I was in that camp for a while. I decided, what the heck, let's get it and see what it's like again. I've enjoyed it ever since. Trying to see if we're going to see any glimpse of the Andes before we start down. It looks like on the charting, I mean, it is like right up against them. I mean, literally within their airspace around the airfield. I'm not sure, that'd be 80 miles out. Go from minimum altitudes of 4,800 feet to 10, 11,000 feet. So, like, that's why I call it front range. I think it's very close. And La Paz isn't that far away either. Boss JFK International. Sometimes I like looking up these airports, folks. Maybe as we get in much closer, we'll then start to see them. But for now, we're not seeing the Andes Mountains. They do, like I said, they're at least 13,000 feet up, folks, because that's where La Paz is. If you're looking for it in South America, Sierra Lima Lima Papa. Alright, let's hop in the cockpit here and start setting up for the arrival. Okay, we're at 87 miles out. No, 97 miles out. Alright, so real quick, let's go ahead, pull up some weather. Believe it or not, I just had a mind meltdown trying to remember the airport I was going to. Okay, so winds 150 to 11, 24 degrees, and 1019. Pretty simple. Okay, so what we're going to do, click next phase, Q&H. Now we can just put it in as it reads, 1019er. Temperature 24. Winds 150. Diagonal. We don't worry about the gust. We just put in sustained. Alright, now let's go back to our chart. That way anyone new to the channel can also see it and get their own briefing real quick of what we're flying into. We're going to be shooting the RNAV GPS approach Zulu to runway 16. We're going to come off Tivru, and we're going to go direct Robil, which is right here on the chart, Exoma, Pollock, and then to the runway. You can see the rest of the information. Pollock is at 2,900 feet. But our MDA, we're going to go ahead and put in 1,500, if it'll let me. Okay. And that's all we really need to do for setting it up right now. Let's see. I came up with... Let's do it this way. I'm going to pull TopCat in. Let me get rid of the chart real quick. Yep, I'm going to have to get rid of Volanta too. Okay, so we're on what's called TopCat. It's a payware piece of software. If you just Google TopCat, PFP, X, TopCat, it's all under the same thing. But anyway, yeah, you pay for this. And to me, it's been worth every cent, other than I can't get this plane programmed right, but I can't get a good flight dynamic in TopCat for flight factor. Okay, so we're right now on landing. Let's switch it over to, I'm sorry, takeoff. Let's switch it to landing. Coming in on 1.6, update. And there's our winds we just entered, our temperature, and QNH. Okay, now we come check your information. Okay, 11,400 is good for the length, 159 degrees, and airport elevation 1216. Okay, again, the data's loaded. We'll be coming in full flaps. Packs will be on. Anti-ice not required. I always set it to auto land. It gives me a little bit more to work with, and I'll set my brakes to medium. And then just, now if there is a NOTAM and you want to simulate it that the runway threshold's been pushed up, not published, but say today we're going to work on the first 2,000 feet of the runway. They publish a NOTAM, so now you only have 9,000. Put that in here. And then any inoperative items on the plane, otherwise known as MELs. And here they are. Actually, I don't think you're seeing that. For some reason, window in a window never opens right for me. So when we click compute, we get 128. That's pretty close. 133, that's pretty close. So that's why I say about 135, 140 is what I'm going to fly the approach on. All right. So to me, it's a very invaluable. I mean, I've got to have it. Oop, not Sim Toolkit. My bad. All right. Hey, I'm just pushing buttons to push buttons. Hey. Oh, me, oh my. But yeah, we're set up for the approach, which is now a perf page 60 out. All right, so we're 55 miles now from top of descent. Now, top of descent, with Boeing, you can set your altitude, like I'm going to do right now, 5,000. Okay. When you hit top of descent, most Boeings will start into the descent. You physically have to click the button, your altitude button, like you do in the 74, 777, to, establish your descent. Also, the descent in an Airbus is slightly different looking than a Boeing. Go figure. They're two different companies. Boeing, you get that nice decent graph here telling you what, how many feet above and below. Plus, sometimes you get a glide slope indication here showing you where you are from the predicted glide path. Here, the predicted glide path shows up in a green dot only here. Now, a pilot that I do watch his streams, V1, showed a green dot either this side or this side of the PFD. I don't know what that was all about, unless that's just that variant. But anyway, you'll see that when we go into our managed descent. Again, just pushing buttons to push buttons, folks. No. Get over here, center up on the airplane. That's one thing I wish this map would show better. Not showing well right now. Oh well. I'm going to go ahead and open up my aft tab. See how the map shows up. Ooh, really? Zoom out a little. There we go. Alright, so get a little bit of what the land looks like. I can't put the weather on here. If I can, let me know, folks. I'd love to know that. And I have been toying in the back of my mind of getting either the A319, which is the one I'm kind of leaning the most to, or the A321 from Tolis. I've heard they are phenomenal. They fly pretty true to real life. Not being a commercial pilot, I don't know. But yeah. I've also had somebody yelling at me to get the MD-11. Not gonna happen. So let's see. We've got the hockey stick on the nav display, so top of descent is starting to come into play. It looks like we're starting to come out of the more jungly looking topography into a more desert, if that's a proper term for this. I don't know Brazil at all, so I happen to know we have a couple guys that live in the Brazilian area. Granted, over on the Rio side, not in Rio, but towards the eastern half. So they may not know, but yeah. And we're going to be crossing into Bolivia here soon, if we haven't already. Matter of fact, I think we have. Yeah, we have. Back here at login. So we've been in, but this is Bolivia, sorry. Welcome to Bolivia, folks. Alright, so we're 30-ish miles from top of descent. Keeps adjusting our top of descent. Are we getting that kind of wind variance? Alright, what I might do is initiate this descent a little bit early and suck it up in the descent. Alright, so let me get X checklist. Alright, so descent procedures. Follow Omega Flow. Flight plan, radar nav, program, perf. I've never tried that page. Where is my fuel predictor? Yeah, I need to do this one time too, so. Okay, so we've got our runway. Well, we don't have a star. See how our nav looks here. Shouldn't be anything in here, by the way. Because we're doing an RNAV. Okay, just see that. Okay, we got the QNH in, temperature in, wind, transition. We did not look at transition. Is that right? I got 5,000. I'm not going to get too overly. MD is in there. And VAP is calculated. Okay. Auto brakes. We'll go medium. Okay, 3 units up. I am going to go ahead and initiate the descent. Okay, we're in manage. There's that green dot. Now that we weren't right on top of it, well, maybe we were. Ah, there it is. Okay. This blue squiggly line, folks, that lets you know where, when this green dot gets back in between here, that's when you're in the optimal climb descent for a managed. You're there. We should be crossing it there. So we're a little ahead of schedule, so it's going to ease us down a little and then nose us as we get closer. And you can already see the green dot coming down. And we're starting to get steeper. Now, the big difference between Airbus and Boeing in this, aside from, we'll call it eye candy, okay? We don't touch the throttle in Airbus. It's managed. Those EECs, those electronic engine controls, they're doing everything right now, even in the simulated. Don't see the throttles really moving a lot and all of that. However, once we take over and use the speed to set up, when we come off and it says retard, we go into open by pulling the throttle back, and then we've got control. So we get out of this chart. And I am actually going to push that over. Okay, so there's Viru. We're going to be making that turn to head up. Don't follow. Oh, wait, I can actually make that work. RNAV, Robil. There we go. So yeah, now it'll look right. So yeah, the little differences there, folks. So now we're managed descent. Now you can see that 2 ways. You got the green dot, obviously. Come over here and go previous page. Aircraft mode managed, descent page. Now we'll click here. I'm going to do it pretty close, right about in here, up right before Robil. And then the aircraft will be under my control speed wise, and it won't slow to the F speed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, let's do one look at Volanta. Okay. And I'm going to pull that away. We'll be back at, or I will be, to check the landing data here shortly once we land. Sim toolkit. Just going to do a quick live map check. Okay, I don't have any traffic at all near us, so all right. So folks, we're coming down. Hope you're enjoying. If you are, click follow. Click on that purple heart, folks. We'd sure love to have you aboard on future flights. I know the down at the bottom there under About, you'll see live schedule that says today we were supposed to be going to Anchorage. Called inaudible. We're doing that tomorrow. So some real world things came up that I thought probably better to do a shorter stream today than tomorrow. So I flipped the schedule around. But tomorrow we'll grace the skies with the Queen. So going from Phoenix to Anchorage. But today we're inbound to Bolivia, Viru International Airport. And if I'm pronouncing it wrong, that's the best I can do via with the VRU or whatever how it's pronounced. So you can see where we are. We're now 22,000 feet. I want to check to make sure I don't have any checklists that aren't auto-populating. See what approach is. Yeah, that one should have came up. I think that one could have came up by now. Wait a minute, I went the wrong way. Okay, well, I guess it might come up later. I don't know. We'll see. Let me get that out of the way, folks, so y'all can take a look one more time as we come into clear skies. Balmy temperatures here. I think it's 24 degrees Celsius. So, and yeah, you didn't know U.S. Airways an American flyer. Yeah, no, not in this plane at least. Oh, no. All right, so there you go, folks. Let's see if we can see paused again. Why are you pausing? It's starting to get a glimmer of the Andes ahead of us. Like I've been alluding to for those of you new onto the stream or just checking back, we're coming into what I call like Denver, except we're 3,000 feet lower on the MSL gauge. We're the front range to the Andes, this airport. You know, if you look at it on Sky Vector, especially in the VFR maps, you'll see what I mean, how it's real close to the Andes. Okay, 18,000 we don't have to worry about in this country, but it's time to get my butt back in here and turn the wing lights on. One last check of weather. One 70 at 13. Still looking like clear skies here, folks. So 25 degrees now. So 1018. We do need to make some changes in the McDo. What is it? 1018. 25. Oh, it was 170 at 11. Didn't do much for our VLS and VAP, so we're still pretty much locked in there. We're 52 miles out, folks. Okay, I'm just kind of studying things. We're kind of all over the place here with our indications. May actually have to tap the, yeah, I am going to have to. Start slowing us down here. Okay, there we go. Engine mode selector is normal. Yes. Okay. Left and right landing lights. I turn them all on, folks. Constraints are on, LS. Go ahead and turn those on. I'm not sure how that plays into an RNAV. Weather tilt 5 units up. Okay. Okay, speed brakes off. No, not armed yet. Hang on, I'm going to get this into my coverage. Okay, so we got that taken care of. Seatbelt. How far? 22. Okay, like I said, we do have the LS on, but I don't know how effective that is on an RNAV approach.
10,000 feet.
You're about to, let me take a look here. It's an overlay onto their regular map, so you can kind of see where we are. I'm going to keep it up there for a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and activate approach. Alright, and what that would have done, folks, had I not been under control of speed, it would have slowed us to 144. So with us controlling it now, we have the, yeah, we're controlling it. Speed's managed, we've got it. Right now I'm not pushing the approach button because we're not there yet. Go ahead and bring this down to 20. Okay, 130, 135, okay. Alright, so here we go. I don't know if we're going to see any markings on the PFD for us to be localizer glide slope equivalent for this RNAV. Sometimes I do, but that's with other aircraft. Cibo, the 7.6 when I fly it. Flight attendants, take your seats for arrival. All right, so it's 10:19, wasn't it? $10:18. Not sure why the vertical deviation is flashing at me. Okay, so here we go, folks. Once we get to that green dot speed, I'll put in the flaps 1. Continue to 29. That's our lowest altitude we're allowed. Let's go flaps 1. Sierra Lima Victor Romeo traffic, back air 572, 10-mile final, runway 16, airport in sight. Okay. Okay, we're going to arm up the speed brakes now.
Gear down.
Okay.
2,500.
All right, I'm going to take over. Okay, again. Yeah, I don't see any indication. Let's go. It's 3. Oops. Okay, gears down, 3 green, brakes set, spoilers armed, flaps full, stable landing. And Sierra Lima Victor Romeo traffic, back air 572, 3-mile final, gear down, landing runway 16.
One thousand.
Not see any pappies, so I don't have any visual cues. Brakes disengaged already. A little bit of a crosswind, as we kind of imagined with the
500.
170.
400. 300.
Coming over the vortex, folks, right ahead, right below us.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh well. Reverse. Little rough on the landing there, folks. Alright, but welcome into Bolivia, folks. We are gonna long way to go to Echo. Alright, so we'll just kind of let her coast, even though we are coasting a little bit uphill. See if it'll just do that on its own. Always interesting to see the airlines chosen. I don't think that Italia would be here. Now, Italia could be here. Not in an MD-80. Alright, so we'll go ahead while we're waiting here. Let's get the weather radar turned off. Disarmed. Alright. And we'll get the flaps off the run. Then we can go to standby on the TCAS, because it doesn't matter what you're in here, only in what you'll see. It's our taxiway Echo. Yeah, that little float did not help me, folks. Balloon up a little. Yeah, that didn't help. Alright, flaps up. this set so we'll be ready to go. Alright. No set, strobes off. Okay, we'll do the chrono's been checked. Alright, strobe lights off. Okay, taxiing to gate procedures. AF. Okay, let's. Alright, we're going to be taking, like I said, gate 5. I don't know if it's going to be marked on the ramp or not. Alright, let's see how this marks out. Alright, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 jetways. 2, 3. We may actually have one more than we need. We'll take this middle one. Alright folks, we are almost in the gate. Okay, we're just we're watching, but I like to try to get up here a little closer. Maybe right about here. Alright, so we need, okay. Okay, cockpit doors open, seatbelt signs off. Fuel pumps will turn, right now we'll leave it as is, folks. We're going to do a couple of things real quick. and then I'll shut the plane down after the stream. Dave Rondon, welcome aboard. Sorry I didn't see you there earlier. Hope you're having a great evening. I'm going to come out of my Discord channel here. Okay, and let me get a couple things set up here real quick, folks. We'll do some not flybys, but a review here as it unlocks Bolivia in Volanta. I can also kill 510 was the rate with Mac Air. Not one of my better landings, but again, it's been a couple weeks since. Well, actually, no, it's only been about a week since I flew. Oh well. Okay, that's good. And 505. You know, it's amazing when it gets to 500, folks. The two match. When it's in the less than 100, one of them shows 300, one shows the under 100. It's kind of funny. I don't know what parameters they use off the sim. All right, so what am I looking at here? Oh, I know what I'm looking at now. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with this picture here. Finish the flight so we don't run into any troubles there. And let me bring Sim Toolkit into the picture real quick so we can evaluate the landing from their perspective. Well, one positive right out of the gates. Landing zone touchdown. Actually, aiming point right at, I mean, that's right on cue, folks. So we're down the center. We were 6, call it 7 feet off the center line to the left. 1,400 feet down the runway, folks. According to the way that looks, we did pretty good. We'll see what it looks like in the sim. 500 feet a minute, that's not good. 128, we're only 2 knots slow. So that probably was that little push-up that happened there right before I touched down. Okay, I have to work on that. But this is what this tool is really good for in the Sim Toolkit toolbox. E4 Attitude, welcome in. Hope you're having a great day. I know it was meant to be bad attitude, but welcome aboard. Hope you're having a great day. We just landed here in Bolivia. We're going to do some review here. Let's get rid of that. And where are you? There you are. And let's get rid of charts. All right, so let's make sure everything. Let's come off VATSIM. Ah, the SAB 340. That's a good aircraft. I said disconnect. Thank you. So good aircraft. Hope to see you in the air. Hope you take some time and fly with us. Give me an idea when you're flying, and I can work around that. It's the what's the LES version? Long range or? Okay, into reverse. Take it a little further out. Leading Edge. Oh, Leading Edge Simulation, name of the company. Awesome. All right, let's take a look at this approach, folks. See where I botched it to get a 500 foot a minute landing. I was doing pretty good down the approach. Okay, let's get into normal time from about here and again, very stable approach. That's why I'm a little miffed. No, I don't have a SAB in the cockpit. Here we go. Threshold. Here's where I'm gonna billow up. Right there. Now, on the sim, we did hit. Ooh. Yeah, a little hard hit. That's not too bad. right here's where I felt like I went up. See it. Oh, it just held altitude. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, well, I'm not sure how to fix that. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Wow. Yeah, it just didn't want to come down. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, I noticed that too. I thought I did. Is it? Okay. Hopefully that's better. That was a good land. I mean, overall, I mean, it's not a bad landing, folks, by any stretch of the imagination. I've had worse. Let's see what it looks like coming down this way. All right, one more time. Then we're going to do some wing views. Yeah, not much flare at all, you're right. I think it's because right here where it wouldn't come down, I didn't want to over flare. Oh well. Hey, I can second guess it all I want. 500 feet a minute is really not all that bad. Sucks to be in the seats over the landing gear, yes. Let's look out that way first. Which, by the way, we're in one of those. Okay, so he's eating some of the strut. All right, let's go back out. We'll look on the other side. Yeah, firm. Only put the strut up in their gut. Not too bad. All right, let's take a look at the one view, folks, that is always a primo landing. Every shot. Let's watch it from the tower. Folks, thanks for flying with Mike. I want to appreciate y'all coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you to the 182 followers we have. It's overpowered again. Didn't do anything. There we go. Want to thank you, 182 folks. We sure do appreciate it. Folks, we're going to have to call it today, but I do appreciate y'all coming in, supporting the channel like you do by just showing up. We sure appreciate that. I'm going to take a look out there and... Oh, there. Oh, wrong one. Dadgummit, I was on the right screen. Oh, I don't have anyone to pay it forward to. Well, we're going to just go ahead and wrap it up here, folks. So, thank you again for flying with us tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're headed off to Alaska, I promise, in the Fearless 747. Takeoff time, hopefully around 16Z, maybe earlier, so be ready for a possible early departure. We'll see how things go. So, folks, enjoy your day, enjoy your hump day. May the 4th be with you, those of you that are Star Trek or Star Wars fans. Sorry for the insult saying Star Trek. May the 4th be with you, and we'll see you tomorrow. God bless you all. Have a great day. We'll see you then. Good night, all. We'll see you tomorrow.